Hello, welcome back. Happy Tag Tuesday. If you're new here, my name is Becca and today I am doing the Briggs book tag. So the Briggs book tag was originally created by Jade from Jaded Reader. I will leave her video down below, and I was tagged to do this by the lovely Shell from Fixie Dust, so I will also put her video down below for you to check out. The great thing about this tag is that it is individual to each person who does it. It is based on the Myers-Briggs personality test, where you answer 4 questions and for each answer you get a letter and that makes up your personality. So I am an INTJ. INTJs are known as the more evil personality types, which is just great. I am a Slytherin through and through, I've said many times. But there are 5 questions in this tag, 1 for each letter and then 1 for the nickname that each personality is given, and I'm just going to run through those for you. So question number 1 is I for introvert. You can be outgoing but need to recharge with some solitude. Where is your favourite place to read and unwind? Why is this little oasis where you choose to go? So I read in various different places. I read in the living room with my morning coffee. I read in bed. I read in audiobook form when I'm at work or when I'm in the kitchen. But my favourite place to read is probably in bed, just because I have the space around me to have like my phone, my book. There's a variety of different positions you can sit in, so you can lie down or you can sit with your book on the bed. I have no reason. I would like my own little calm reading nook, but I have a lot of pets, so if I kind of go elsewhere in the house, I'm probably going to be bothered by at least one of them, whereas if I'm in bed I only have the dog to contend with, and that's only occasionally, so it tends to be a little bit more calmer and peaceful in here. The next question is N for intuition. Some books are meant to be understood and others are meant to be explored. What book or character stands for an idea that is deeply meaningful to you? So for this I'm going to go for Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. There are many different complex themes in this book, but one of them is the idea of morality and grey morality. Without going into too much detail about the actual plot of this book, you essentially have 2 sides to one problem. There are one side that have been greatly oppressed and did a very bad thing but to stop the oppression of the people, and there are the other side who are not responsible for the oppression of the people, but they are of the same, let's say, race. I chose this for an idea that's meaningful to me because I really like the idea of morality and that you shouldn't necessarily judge somebody for what they have done without understanding their motivations. I'm not talking about things like racism where people don't like other people just because of the colour of their skin. Like bigger things, like if somebody doesn't like somebody or is not very nice towards them, maybe think of the reason behind that. And I guess I just really like to understand things, and so it means a lot to me to understand people and their motivations behind what they're doing. There is nothing more confusing to me than somebody who is horrible without reason. Like if you have a reason, I'm like, right, okay, fair enough, maybe not the best methods, but you have your reasons. But people who are just nasty without any sort of purpose, like those people really get to me because I just can't understand what's going on there. The next one is T for thinking. Non-fiction for some can seem tedious, but where would we be without the truths of our world? What book, text or reading material have you found yourself referring to when in need of real world answers? Okay, so this is going to get a little bit morbid and it's going to get a little bit deep. Around, I'd say this time last year, I discovered Natasha's channel from My Reading Is Odd, and she really liked to watch a booktuber called Ask a Mortician. Caitlin at Ask a Mortician is a mortician and she does various types of videos. She does videos on, for example, iconic corpses, which are strange circumstances surrounding iconic historical celebrity figures. She does death positivity videos. She also does a lot of explaining to people what exactly happens when you die. So some of you may know if you've been here a while. I know there are quite a lot of you who have joined me more recently, but for those of you that don't know, my mum passed away in June this year, and I remember just before she went into hospital, she was only supposed to be going for an operation, but just before she went into hospital, I was reading one of Caitlin's books. She has 2. One is called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Things You Learn Working at a Crematorium, which is more like about her life. And the second one is about the different death practices around the world. And I was reading that second book. Is it called From Here to Eternity? I was reading that just before my mum went into hospital. And when my mum passed away, I feel like understanding what happens when you die and what happens to your body before funerals, after funerals, I feel like that really helped me with my grief, because it helped me to understand what was going on. Like, I know what happens when people get embalmed. I know what happens when your body breaks down, and really understanding all that helped me with my grief. Death is really just a part of life and you can't change it. There's nothing you can do about it. But really understanding the whole process really helped me out. The next question is J for judging. All play and no work leads to chaotic disorder and anarchy. How do you structure and balance your reading, booktube and personal life to better use your time? So I'm really obsessive with how I use my time. I don't like to waste time. The worst possible thing for me is wasted time. I absolutely hate it. So I tend to cram everything in so that I can do things I have to do and things I enjoy and make the best use of my time. So like a typical day, I'll go to work, I start at 9 AM and I have a phone stand next to my computer where I put booktube on and listen in my headphones while I'm working. So that means that I can keep up to date with everybody's videos. I do obviously fall behind quite frequently, and I can comment when I have like a little break in between working. So that helps me to watch booktube. Making booktube videos, I pre-film my videos for the week coming on the weekend. So this video that you're seeing on Tuesday was pre-filmed on Sunday, and I will do that for my entire week's videos. Then every night previous to the video going up, I will edit them. My reading, I fit in here, there and everywhere. If I catch up on booktube fully at work, I will then put an audiobook in. I listen to an audiobook if I'm in the kitchen cooking, and then all of my physical reading is kind of done like before bed, after dinner and things like that. So that's how I fit all of that in. I live in the middle of nowhere, so like my personal like social life isn't huge, but if I do have plans, say I'm going out on a Saturday or I'm having a weekend away, then I just take away my time from something else to make sure that all of my booktube stuff is done, scheduled and ready to go, if that makes sense. And the last question is a combination of all of the letters, so mine is INTJ, the masterminds. That's right. You're not in it for the small talk. So true. So let's cut right to the chase. What book captures the idea of what it is to be human? So I feel like this is depending on what people view as to be human, but I'm going to go with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is the story of an aging Hollywood actress, and it's sort of her biography of what happened in her life and the 7 husbands that she had. I feel like this is a good representation of what it means to be human, because Evelyn lived a fabulous life. She never wanted for money. She was always secure in that sense. She could do what she wanted in that regard, but she had to sacrifice a lot of things. She sacrificed the things that she really wanted to do to get where she is. She sacrificed her own heart in part. She had to sacrifice a big part of her to be who she was. And I feel like that's an accurate representation of you can do the things you want to do, but you do have to sacrifice. And sacrifice is hard. Like, it's hard to not do something, to want to do something else. And it's also hard to work out your priorities and which are the things that you are willing to sacrifice and which are the ones that you want to pursue. So I really did find that as an accurate representation of being human. So that's everything for the Briggs book tag. I have not tagged anybody because I'm not sure who hasn't done this at the minute. Please let me know what your Myers-Briggs personality is down in the comments box. And please don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish body butter and candle website, the Instagram for that, and a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.